Greetings, salutations, hello, and welcome to a special Midnight Sun edition of Dreadlock's Q&A. It is in fact currently midnight, but it's not dark, as you can see. It's actually cloudy, so midnight sun might be a bit of an exaggeration. But this Dreadlock's Q&A is being filmed on the island of Spitsbergen, Svalbard, within the Arctic Circle, so it doesn't actually go dark here during summer. Other than the change in venue, everything else is still the same. I've got 5 questions that have been posted to me by you guys, the viewers, and I'm going to attempt to give 5 hopefully decent answers. If you have a question you'd like to submit for a future Dreadlock's Q&A, you can do so by posting it in the comment section below, starting your question with the word question. First off, a question from Snow Sakura, which is sort of convenient. You might be able to see some snow over there. Didn't plan that. Question: is a natural shampoo a good substitute for a residue-free shampoo? Because I don't seem to find any residue shampoo in my country, and I was thinking if I can use a natural one instead of a regular hair shampoo, which we both know is not that good for dreads. Thanks. I get this question a lot, or this question in various different ways. A natural shampoo can be good for dreadlocks, but just because it's natural shampoo doesn't mean that it isn't necessarily good for dreadlocks. A lot of dreadlock shampoos are natural shampoos. They're like natural ingredients and organic, but it doesn't mean that because a shampoo is natural, it's going to be good for the dreadlocks. It just means that if you do get residue, it will be natural, organic residue rather than chemical residue. I think a lot of people struggle with finding dreadlock shampoos, especially if they try to find them in stores. I know that I couldn't find a dreadlock shampoo in a store. If you're looking for dreadlock shampoo, you generally have to look for them online. There are, of course, going to be various shampoos that are available in stores that some people will have success using on dreadlocks, but it's going to vary from person to person and from country to country. So no, not all natural shampoos will be good for dreadlocks. Some will, but some won't. You know, it's not a given that because it's natural that it's good. And 2, it's better to look online, and then you have like the whole world as your store rather than try and shop in person. Caleb Lindley asks, question: I'm planning on starting dreads soon, but I work at a plastics plant. There's lots of fiberglass and plastic dust that dries in my hair and makes it really nasty, so I have to wash it every night. I heard that is bad news for dreads. Do you have any other suggestions? I don't think wearing a hat will work either. That stuff always finds a way to get through my clothes. I think you're going to be in a tricky situation there. People will recommend not to wash dreadlocks every day for a couple of reasons. They recommend not to wash new dreadlocks every day because it can make them too soft and make them more likely to fall loose and fall out. And I wouldn't recommend washing mature dreadlocks every day because it can mean that the dreadlocks can spend pretty much their entire time damp, and that puts you at serious risk for mold, dread rot, mildew, etc, etc. I think you're going to be in like a double bad situation with fiberglass, because not only will it maybe get stuck in the hair, but it might get stuck in the dreadlocks as they're forming, which is like just not good, because you don't want fiberglass in your hair. I really don't have any great suggestions. I mean, a regular hat wouldn't be all that great for working in anyway. It's probably impractical and you might find it too hot. But you may want to look into their different sort of dreadlock sock things that are sold for people to wear when they're sleeping, like silk sack things, basically like a bandana that can cover all the dreadlocks, which is maybe a little more lightweight and possibly a little easier to work with, but I don't really have any super suggestions there because I think it's a tricky situation. Dreadlocks, it's give and take, and they won't necessarily work great for all people with all jobs. It's can be complicated. Lizzie Adam, question: are you Gemini or Cancer or both? You seem like you have traits of both, but I'm not certain. Can you be more than one star sign? This is like my complete lack of knowledge of star signs showing. I do not like... It's not something that I put a lot of power behind, but I was born 3rd of June, which I believe makes me a Gemini. I'm not sure whether that, with you saying that you can see traits of, I'm not sure whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. You let me know in the comment section below. Shelley Kane, question: I live in Northern Ireland and there isn't anywhere to get dreadlock accessories. Do you know many good websites with good dreadlock accessories and a wide variety? I think if you're looking for dreadlock accessories, especially if they're sort of specific, you can't go wrong with checking out Etsy, because Etsy is just a website where people that make stuff can show the stuff that they make and allow you to buy it direct from the people that make it, which I think is a great system, especially if you're looking to find artists and crafty folk that make unique, handmade, individual things. So you can find Etsy and search dreadlock accessories, and I'm sure you will get more results than you can possibly work your way through. If you're looking for a more sort of regular storefront, Dread Stuff has a ever-changing selection of accessories that you may wish to look through. Kyle Irwin asks, question: I started the neglect method about 8 months ago and now notice that I have a few dreads that are knotted and tied to the bottom mid, but the route to that point is non-dreaded hair. Can I simply backcomb these bits? Neglect dreadlocks as most of my viewers who've heard me say it many times, they can be very patient, trying people's patience, so the questions come up a lot. They can be very unpredictable and you don't know exactly what's going to happen over what time frame. I would not recommend going in and backcombing the hair, because backcombing is simply a method used for holding sections together. If you already have dreadlocks that are sort of forming but aren't knotted all the way through, then those are already, you know, sectioned off and held together with knots that have formed naturally, and going through and backcombing would not really benefit those dreadlocks at all, other than it would backcomb through anything that's already started to form there and restart them over, which wouldn't be, you know, all that productive. Instead, I just recommend sticking through with it. 8 months is not like an incredibly long period of time for any method of dreadlocks. Most people would be looking for at least 12 months before most people would expect the dreadlocks to be mature, so 8 months is not that long, especially for neglect natural freeform, in which you can be looking at time frames of years rather than months, depending on the individual. So I would definitely recommend sticking with it rather than trying to backcomb it, because, you know, backcombing is not going to really help in that situation unless you want to restart the dreadlocks. Those are my questions for this week. If you liked this video, if you liked the change in scenery, if you found this video helpful, useful, informative in any way, all likes are appreciated. If you'd like to see more videos from myself in the future, you can of course subscribe and they'll all be sent to your YouTube inbox as they're uploaded. As always, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you again next time. Farewell!